So, what are other issues we have to deal with this time of year? Well, obviously heat, and the excessive heat is one of them. But another one that we have to deal with happens to be bugs, creepy crawlers, yucky stuff that we do not want to have to deal with. And how do you keep those crawling critters on the outside of your home, not on the inside, and do it safely for you and easily? It is by far the Bell & Howell. Now, we have the Bell & Howell 6-piece Ultrasonic Pest Repeller Combo Pack today. Now, here's what's really awesome. We did a price break, and we have 2 flex pays that end tonight on our 6-pack. You get the 3, which is the Pest Repellers, the ultimate, and then you get the minis, which work just like the big guys, except they're little and small. What does this do? It keeps the yuckies out, including roaches, ants, spiders, mice, and rat. And that's what's been independently tested. For other people, it works on a lot of other stuff, but the tests say the stuff we hate the most, it's going to keep away from your home. And this is one little pest that I love having near me. Look at him. For some bizarre reason, he was hiding behind that little house.
I was hiding behind
He was so cute. Hi. It's my little mousey.
We were talking about pests, you know, and the thing is, this is that time of year, especially after this weekend. We've all been out in the sun, and we've all been going to our picnics and having people over the house. How many of you out there that somebody come to you and say, you know, I saw these little things in the corner of the room, or, you know, I thought I saw something scurry through the garage when I was getting the umbrellas, that kind of thing. This is the time of year where you need to get your ultrasonic pest repellers. And Suzanne, we put together an amazing offer here today in this package. We're talking about 6 ultrasonic pest repellers. That's enough to do 1 floor of the average size house, plus your garage or attic. I mean, you've got a plenty in here. Now, what you're getting is you're getting 3 of our large size models, and these are the basic units, and then you're getting 3 of the minis, which are the really discreet ones that you can put these just about any place, and no one's even going to know what they are. So it's these 3 up top, and it's these 3 right here.
And they all work the same.
They all work the same, yeah, regardless of size. And you know, the beautiful thing about Bell & Howell and the way they make these is that you can actually mix and match sets. So in other words, if you've bought another set prior to this one, you can take these and augment what you've already got. Say you've got a multi-story dwelling, maybe you only bought enough for 1 floor, now you can get some more.
Well, and here's a scoop. I have to tell you, I have these. We've been using them now for probably 2 years, and we love them. I love them. We used to have a really bad ant problem. That was our deal, was ants. And we would put out these little drips that look like liquid of poison, and of course the ants would just march around them. It never worked. And then we'd get rid of one problem, and the ants would show up in another problem. And what's funny is you stop noticing that you don't have any of the issues anymore. Because I just started thinking about it today, because ours are plugged in. We don't do anything. I have not set a trap or put out poison now in 2 years, and I have no issues, okay? So here's what's really cool, is because we were selling them, I thought about it. I thought, that is so funny. This is the time of year, if I'm going to see any kind of real ant issues, it's right now. Because that's when they really start diving in. Not a single ant in my kitchen.
And here's the thing, and this is, I'm so glad you said that, because this is what happens with the ultrasonic pest repellers. Because you see, they use, it's science, they use ultrasonic sound waves, not to kill the pests, to repel them. And what are we talking about? We're talking about rats, mice, ants, these guys, roaches, and spiders. Okay, so all of those. And watch what happens. The minute you plug these in, those ultrasonic sound waves start to come out, and they start bouncing off of any solid surface in the room. And what that does is it's like throwing a pebble into a pond, okay? You get that ripple that's coming off. It's not water in this case, it's sound waves. But they bounce off all those objects, and they give you what I call a force field. Now, you're not going to hear these. Your kids aren't going to hear these. Your pets aren't going to hear these. But the rats, the mice, the ants, the roaches, the spiders, they hear them, and it makes them nuts. They want to get out of there. It makes them uncomfortable. We think it might sound like fingernails on a chalkboard, a siren, or like really bad music played really loudly. They can't wait to get away from it. And to Suzanne's point a moment ago, once they start working and the pests are gone, you forget they're there. Because there's never anything to replace. There's no filters, there's no batteries. And I love the way these little guys, you can plug them in the most discreet spots, and you'd never even know they were there.
And it really is brilliant. It really is.
It's science.
Like, and what's really kind of neat is we used to have creepy crawlers. We have a really old house, 1920s, a little bungalow. And I could hear the rats and the mice up in the walls at night. And that's a creepy sound, knowing they're crawling in your walls. I have not had that issue in 2 years again. It really, all you have to do is plug them in and you forget about them. And here's what's really weird. good. You have to get your head around it because there's so many doubting Thomases. They're like, no, that couldn't possibly work. I have a terrible issue with roaches or whatever it might be. Just try them. If you don't love them, send them back. I don't think you'll send them back. And we've sold how many hundreds of thousands?
Oh my God, there's so many homes around the country. I've had people come up to me and tell me that they've got these, they love them. I mean, literally, because they see these and they're like, you know, at first they're like, I don't know, I'm going to give them a shot. We'll try the 30 days. And then they buy another set. And then they buy a set for their summer house or for their RV or for a boat.
Or out in the garage.
You know, for the garage. You have people who have barns that use these. People with sheds that are detached but they have power. They use them. Now, I know for those of you sitting at home, you've never tried them before. You're sitting there going like, I don't know about this, right? Okay, think about what you used to do, okay? How we used to get rid of pests. Look at what's in front of me here on the table, okay? Traditionally, if I had pests, okay, if I have an ant problem, I'm going to go to the store and I'm going to buy stuff for ants. And they make all kinds of things that you can buy for ants. But it's for ants only, okay?
Right.
If I have a roach problem, I can't use the ant stuff. I got to go spend more money and buy the stuff for roaches. And by the way, as I use this stuff up, I buy it over and over and over again. Now, if I have rats and mice, you got to remember something. Rats and mice are pretty smart, okay? So we have all kinds of ways to trick them. We've got the sticky traps down here where they die of dehydration or starvation. Very inhumane. We got poisons right here. They look like food, okay? That's my dog's favorite chew toy is what that looks like right there, okay? These poisons, it takes about a week for the rats and the mice to die, and then they go die in your ceiling or your floors, and then you've got to smell for about 2 months.
Lovely.
You know, yeah, and you're never going to get rid of that smell until it's ready to be gotten rid of, okay? And then the last thing, of course, is this guy right here, and this is what everybody falls back on. We're going to go I'm going to go buy a trap. You got to put some bait in this trap, and then in the middle of the night, you hear that go, right? Now, what does that mean? You got to rebait the trap. Somebody's got to pull the carcass out of this, and it's a never-ending cycle. You just do it over and over again. And the only thing on this whole table to get rid of spiders is this piece of cardboard right here. It has glue inside. They think the spiders are just going to walk through this and get stuck to this. But
it's a spider tent.
It's a spider tent. But if you just buy these Bell & Howell pest repellers, remember, it doesn't matter if you're putting the little ones or the big ones in the room. They work the same. They're going to work against rats, mice, ants, roaches, and spiders. And the reason I keep saying those things over and over and over again is, you know how strict the legal department is here, Suzanne.
Yeah. Oh,
okay.
Right.
They went to Bell & Howell and they said, look, if you want to make any claims at all, if you want to say these repel anything, we have to have testing. So they went to an independent third-party laboratory. They paid a ton of money to have it tested to prove that these were effective at repelling rats, mice, ants, roaches, and spiders from the localized area in which they're working. Now listen to that very distinct language I used, okay? That means you've got to have one in every room in the house. And that's why I tell people, look, when you see a deal like this,
six-pack, yeah,
go for it.
Because we've done 3-packs, we've done 4-packs, and we've done 5-packs.
Yes.
They did a special 6-pack just for this weekend, and obviously it's the end of the weekend here, or the end of the holiday weekend. Sure. Do you know, this is amazing, there are over 3.2 million individual pest repellers that have been purchased from HSN that are working today.
Yes.
Now, why in the world do you want to continue to use all of these awful things that are not good for you, they're not good for your pets, they're not good for your family, you have to use them over and over. You will never, ever stop doing this.
Right.
You will never stop doing this.
It's a cycle.
It's a mean cycle right here. You'll never stop it. When you get this, you stop all of that. And it's so funny because once you plug it in, because at first you're like, oh, come on, it's too easy.
Yeah.
It actually should be more difficult. You should have to like put foil on your head and hold a hanger and plug them in or something. I don't know. I think it's so easy that people doubt they're going to work. But with 3.2 million, chances are you're going to have success. And if you don't have success, send it back. We've gotten caller after caller. One caller, never forget, they have a really bad spider issue, and they're not good spiders. They're not the friendly spiders.
The venomous kind.
Remember the ones out west?
I do.
And she called us and she said she was in her pantry and she moved a cereal box and this venomous spider was there. So she said, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? She got
never eat cereal again.
I know. Well, she got them. She plugged them in and it became the answer for her.
Exactly.
And think about that. If you've got the rats, if you live in an apartment or condo, look, you might be the cleanest person on earth, but how are the folks around you? If they're not, they're attracting all those little critters, and guess where they go?
No, it's true. And you know what? Now watch this too. Here's the installation process. If you're not mechanically inclined, this is for you, okay? Watch what I'm going to do here. Here's an outlet. I decide, you know what? I want to put this in this outlet. Watch. Boom. Done. See the little red light come on right there? That's how you know these are working. It is literally that simple to do. And you know, to Suzanne's point, people who live in high-rise buildings aren't immune. If you live in a brand new house, you might have a worse pest problem than your friends that have lived in their house for 50 years. Why? Because when your house was built, they turned up the ground, and guess what? The ants, the roaches, the mice, the spiders, they got nowhere to go. So their whole habitat has been thrown up, okay? So they want to come inside, they want to come into your house. Why? You got the water, you got the food, you got shelter, and that's what happens. If they're doing construction anywhere around your house, the same thing is going to happen. And this is the time of year right now. Spring is already over, okay? We're just starting summer right now. All your little furry friends have made more furry friends.
Well,
that's what's been going on. If you didn't know, that's what happened.
No, I'll tell you, because of a rat problem, it cost me probably $600. I'll tell you why. You've got a story too.
Oh, you want to compare? Go ahead.
Yeah, we will. Okay, this is mine. And it's honest to goodness story. And this is what finally put me over the edge. Because again, you know, as a host, you're like, okay, will it really work? Okay, fine, this is what did it. I was like, am I an idiot? Yeah, really. So what happened was a mouse chewed the plastic out of the bottom of our dishwashing machine. And it stopped working. We had to completely replace the dishwasher. You can see it was a hole.
Oh, I remember
completely
that, the pan.
chewed out the pan in the bottom of it.
Yep.
We couldn't just replace that. We had to replace the whole dishwasher.
Sure.
Thus, $600 later.
Oh, but wait.
Okay, beat that.
Oh, but
beat
wait.
that.
Okay, so we were paying a guy $45 a month to walk around our house and put down what they call barrier pest protection. Okay, the spray.
Right.
So they put this barrier poison around your house. It's supposed to stop things from crossing the barrier. Here's the thing. Rats, they can get up on trees. We have fruit rats down here the size of dogs. They dropped off the tree, went across my roof, found a hole in one of the eaves, got into my garage. Now, once they're in the garage, they can't cross that barrier to get out. They're stuck in there.
They're stuck.
So we have a game down here called Cornhole. Do you know the game?
Yeah, sure.
With the little bags full of corn. It was sitting in my garage living, eating corn out of these bags, and it ate through my air conditioning lines. So now I had to have an exterminator to come in and find this rat, okay? Then we had to have our air conditioning system replaced. I don't even want to tell you.
How much did it cost you?
How much money?
Honestly, how much did it cost? Because mine was $600.
Mine was close to $1,000 because it destroyed
And guess what?
everything.
You had to get your cornhole game replaced.
And I had to get that cornhole game, which was what made me the most upset.
That actually would make me even more mad.
But my point being, now I'm not paying the $45 a month.
Right.
I am not worried. You know, and if something does get in your house, let's say something does come into the house, some ants, roaches, whatever, they're not going to stay long. Because once they hear the ultrasonic sound waves coming off of these, they can't wait to leave. And that's the beauty of this. It's humane, but it makes them go away. Where do they go? I don't really care. They're not in my house. That's all that matters to me.
And I do like that, too, because we've tried the sticky, and we also have 2 puppies.
It's cool.
So we've tried the sticky, and we've had the poison stuff.
Sure.
And this, even for children, it's so dangerous. This looks like the stuff that cleans the dog's teeth.
Yes.
And this, to
kitty litter.
what looks like kitty litter, or it looks like little candies.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you have little grandkids or little children, and the sticky stuff is just nasty. Because sometimes little animals will try chewing their little arm off, and that's just gross because they're trying to get away. And then they're dead, and they just deteriorate. And then when you hear that snap,
in the middle of the night.
When we used to hear the snap, it was like,
watch your fingers.
You just knew. You're like, honey, it's your turn. I am not going near that. And then someone's got to take it out and like, look.
No, you know, and that's what happens is, you know, if you want to play amateur exterminator, there's a ton of stuff on this table you can experiment with, and there are things here that can actually hurt you. I'm not just talking about the poisons. If you've ever gotten your finger caught in one of these things, it is not a good time, okay? But with the Bell & Howell Pest Repellers, humane, safe, and easy.
Well, I think the thing, too, is if you're nervous, you're like, oh, come on, how can I plug in and work? Just get it. You have 30 days to try. You'll know before 30 days.
Yes.
It actually works very quickly.
It does.
You plug them all in and let it go for a couple days, and all of a sudden what you notice is what you don't notice.
I like that.
It's so true. You stop, you go, oh, wait, I haven't, like, literally, I haven't heard a rat, and I haven't seen an ant in 2 years now.
Spiders?
No, I don't know. We didn't have a lot of spiders. That was not our issue.
Yeah, but if you don't like it, you'll know.
No, that's true. All right, so here's what's happening. The 2 flex pays on this specific